Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Commonwealth. Today we're going to be checking out Gorski Cabin, which is a location kind of in the middle of the woods. However, it is right next to a road, so it's not that isolated. Now, as you approach this location, there's going to be a lot of ghouls, so be ready for a bit of a fight. But it's a pretty easy location, but it is a kind of interesting location to explore, so let's jump on into it. Gorski Cabin is located just south of Concord and west of Drumlin Diner and Starlight Drive-In. Now, I was approaching from the north, from Concord. I just wanted to point out on the hill as you approach, there's like this small ambulance, but there was no loot inside of it, quite unfortunately. As we approach the cabin, we can see the main road running here, and then just below the road is the cabin. And there's going to be, like I said at the beginning, a lot of feral ghouls here. So just kind of make your way through and start taking them out. I just kind of take them out a little bit slowly with my pistol here, but not too big of a problem. This one decided to hit me, but yeah, me and Dogmeat were able to take care of it pretty easily. Then here's the cabin, kind of a typical Fallout 4 cabin design. And in the front yard, we can see there's like this electrical tower. Very terrible place to put an electrical tower, but we'll talk more about that later in the video. As we come in, the ghoul laying on the bed is not a dead person like I thought it was. It is a ghoul, so make sure you shoot them and not get startled like I did. But inside of this main room of the cabin, there really isn't a whole lot of loot, just some junk, of course, that you can use in building. However, as we can see underneath the sofa, there is a cellar, and we can come on down, and in the first room, we can just kind of find a dug-out area with random junk and stuff that I just sped up because you don't want to see me looting junk. We can see then this refrigerator acts as kind of a secret passage. However, the refrigerator has been moved, and this leads us to a developed portion of this underground section. And if we open up the door, we can find Wayne Gorski, who, of course, is why the cabin is named Gorski Cabin. This was the original inhabitant from the pre-war era, and he will die. It's kind of a tough fight, at least for me, since I'm a lower level. And as we come in, we find a very weird sight on this bench here. We can find various parts to a mini-nuke, including 2 mini-nuke beryllium caps, 1 mini-nuke detonator shell, 1 mini-nuke hemisphere core, and 1 mini-nuke stabilizer fins. These unique junk items can be scrapped for 5 units of nuclear material, useful for settlement building. And then on the desk next to the terminal, we can find a copy of the Wasteland Survival Guide, obviously written by Fallout 3's Moira Brown and the Lone Wanderer. Then on the terminal, which we must hack, we can find a very interesting note from our good friend Gorski, which reads, "This will be my first and only entry. I identify myself as a free-thinking citizen of these once great United States. I will not stand idly by as the government infects the minds of its people with devices like these electrical tower they've erected in my front lawn. I pledge to take down this mind control device by any means necessary, and have begun construction on an incendiary device. If you are reading this, I have certainly been killed or detained in a government interrogation camp. The news will surely warp the truth and brand me a communist traitor. Do not believe their lies. Let all true patriots know that what I do of my own free will and for the good of my country." So as we can see, Wayne Gorski was a bit of a nut, a little bit crazy, and he was obviously disassembling that mini-nuke to make a quote-unquote incendiary device to destroy the electrical tower in his front yard. Now, I can't believe that the government would actually put that electrical tower there. Why not just shift it a little ways away, because that's a very terrible place to put it, but hey, what do I know? Anyways, he has a kind of funny story, and obviously it seems that he was ghoulified by the mini-nuke which he deconstructed. Quite the irony. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Unexplored Commonwealth. While I don't ever remember exploring Gorski Cabin, I'm sure I passed through it once or twice before, but I had a lot of fun exploring it and diving into its lore. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas or recommendations for future videos, future ideas, please post them in the comments section below, and as always, until next time.